Hello and welcome to this special edition of Eagle Talk. Today we will recap the Brockport women's basketball season. Two of the players, Emily Nestler and Julianna Taylor, are joining me now. Eagle Talk starts right now. Let's get right to it. I'm Ben Vahey. Today we recap the College at Brockport women's basketball season. The team clinched one of the last spots in the SUNYAC Conference, pulling off an upset beating the Cortland Red Dragons before falling to the top seed New Paltz in a close game. Joining me now is senior Emily Nestler and sophomore Julianna Taylor, both of whom had a great season. Emily and Julianna, thank you for being here today.
Thank you.
Thank you. So Emily, I'll start with you. You're a local product from Rush Henrietta High School, playing 3 seasons with the Golden Eagles, prior to which you played at Roberts Wesleyan for your freshman year. What made you want to come to Brockport after playing a year at Roberts?
Well, I had a lot of good experiences at Roberts, but it just wasn't the atmosphere that I was looking for. And then when I've, like you said, I'm from Rush Henrietta, so I'm a local person. So I've been to Brockport a few times, and I love the athletic atmosphere here. So that's really what made me change. Roberts was just a really small school, and I really liked the atmosphere here at Brockport.
Sounds pretty good, it seemed like.
Yeah.
So you seem to be comfortable in your 3 seasons here. Like your senior year, you were one of the best, closing your career with 386 points, averaging 14.3 points a game. So what can you say about your legacy here?
Well, I'm just hoping that my teammates really saw me as someone that they could go to with the basketball. I'm hoping that they saw me as a leader and someone that they could trust on the court. I know I had a lot of trust in them, and I'm just hoping that they'll continue to win games and continue to play hard and love the program and love basketball.
That's pretty cool. So now, Julianna, I'm going to go over to you now. I see you came to Brockport from a small town, Fonda, between Utica and Albany. What made you want to come from that far away to play here?
Well, when I visited Brockport, I just felt like I really fit in. I love the athletic facilities. I played pickup here with the team. I loved the way they all communicated with each other. Everyone got along. Like we hung out at night, and everyone was like really close. And distance doesn't really matter to me. I mean, I love my family, but I could go far away and be fine. So
that's great. Yep. So now I see you're only a sophomore, Julianna, but you seem to contribute really well to your team this year, scoring 22 points against Oswego back on February 14th. So what can you say about your performance personally this year, and how the team is going to be growing with the younger freshmen behind you?
Yeah, my teammates really helped me perform well this year. They given me the ball, and Ness always kicking it out too, and she sees me open. But the freshmen for sure are gonna help us a lot in the years to come. Once they get some experience in, they'll definitely be on their way to success, and I can't wait for the next couple years with them.
That's great. So back over to you now, Emily. You were the lone senior on the team this year, but to close out this season, it must have meant a lot to you. But with you gone next year, how do you think Julianna and the other people behind you are going to step up without you?
You know, I have a lot of faith in this team. I mean, we saw at the end of February this year that we were playing our best basketball, and like JT said, that was our entire team. So I really think if they continue to work hard, which I know they will in the postseason, and then again in the fall and the preseason, I know that they'll have a lot of success next year, and hopefully I'll be able to be in the stands and cheering them on.
That's great. So now, how does it feel to close out your career with these awards? Like, you were awarded to all SUNYAC second team, and you also won the SUNYAC 20 Elite Award. So how does you feel getting all this attention?
I mean, it feels really good. I mean, for sure, this is a tribute to my team as well. I mean, I don't get the Elite 20 award if we don't make it to the Final 4 teams. So it's definitely an entire team award. I can't make second team all conference unless my teammates help me out, get me the ball, unless they score, and we need to win games in order for our team to get awards like that. So I really owe a lot to them. I owe a lot to our coaching staff for helping me out, and the attention. It's been a lot of fun.
That's really great, I think. So now this question's over to both of you now. I'm going to say, like, as basketball players, you seem to play more than the other teams. Like football, they only play like once a week. You play like 1 to 2 games during the week and then have to play back-to-back on a Friday, Saturday, and that schedule seems like a lot. So how do you both juggle multiple games within the week and on the weekends?
It's definitely hard on the body, especially like by the second game, like especially on the road too. On a Saturday game, like you're tired. You're just... And it's a lot of like stuff we like have to do scout, and we have to get up to eat and go shoot around. So we're like doing stuff all day. And so by the time the game comes around on Saturday, we're definitely tired, and it puts a toll on our bodies. But we seem to do pretty well. Like it's an experience thing too. I know last year, all the coaches told me like the road trip and the SUNYAC is like it's different than anything you've ever done before. And I was like, yeah, okay. Like, I've traveled for AAU, I know what it's like, but it really was nothing like that. Like, it's a lot harder in college basketball, especially 40-minute games, to just like your body to handle that.
Yeah, coaches can be right about that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that, Emily.
Yeah, no, like JT said, that this is something that we talk about even in the beginning of the season, especially this year with having so many freshmen. We wanted to let them know early, like, this is what it's going to feel like. But when you play on a Saturday, nobody cares if you're sore or if you're not feeling well, that it has to be the team who's willing to go out there and play their hardest. So we wanted to be that team every Saturday. So we talked about it a lot, talked about what we would do to make sure that that doesn't take too much of a toll on us, about like staying healthy, getting sleep, eating right, all that good stuff. So I think we managed to do that pretty well, especially with having such a young team. But yeah, it's definitely a challenge, but it's a fun challenge.
I can tell. There's a lot going on. So how do you feel being close as a team? Like, playing each team seems conference being home and away. You just said it. It seems like a lot of traveling, but there's places farther away like Plattsburgh, Potsdam. So how do you juggle all those long road trips?
Like I said before, the road trips are tough, and it's like long bus rides. But we're lucky enough to be able to travel on Thursdays, so that when we have to take a 6-hour bus ride, that we can sleep in a hotel and then play the day after. So we're not just like forced to get right off the bus and play. I enjoy the road trips a lot. Like, they're a lot of fun with the team. We all bond in the hotels and do stuff together, so it's fun.
Yeah, I agree. I think the road trips are really a team bonding experience, like just being able to hang out in the hotels, being able to just play multiple games in a weekend and go on these trips. We eat at different restaurants, we bond with the coaching staff, like all that. So it's part of the college experience, and it's definitely been worth it.
It's pretty cool. Now I'll go into a little bit of your games here. So explain the specialties of a couple games I noticed here, like the We Back Pat game and the Play for K game.
Yeah, those games mean a lot to us as a team, and it kind of just like shows that what we're playing for is like bigger than ourselves. And Coach will say that to us in the locker room pregame too. She'll make a pregame speech about like Pat Summit or Kay Yao, and just like tell us how like the impact they've had on women's basketball, and that we should be playing for them, or people that we know that have had cancer or stuff like that, like play for something bigger than ourselves.
Yeah, no, like JT said, those games really remind us like why we play this game, and the people that came before us that allow us to play this game. Like Pat Summit was astronomical in getting women to even be able to play basketball and play in the NCAA, and it's just so being able to play in a We Back Pat game and raise money for Alzheimer's, and then again in the Play for K game and raise money for breast cancer, it just really shows that this game can be a lot bigger than ourselves, and we want to play like it is and show people that it's important to bring awareness to these causes, and basketball is a great platform to do that.
So now we'll go into your season now. It seems to start in November and then goes all the way up to mid-February, but you have to come back after like Christmas and New Year's when like no one else is around here for like games and practices. So how does that long season keep you going from November to February, and then including having to come back over winter break?
Yeah, it's definitely tough on the body again. Like it feels like it's so long at first, like preseason especially, and we're like, oh my God, we have a month of practice before we can play a game. But it actually goes by pretty fast, especially when games get going. Like, it feels like it flies. And I was looking at basketball pictures last night, and I was like, I wish I could just play one more game just right now.
I agree with you. I definitely wish I could play one more game. But I don't know, like we said about like the long road trips and the playing back-to-back games, like it's another thing that we just have to stay healthy and just stay the course, and the season really does fly by. And then coming back onto campus when it's just us, it's another opportunity for like team bonding. We all eat in the dining hall together, even people like me who live off campus, and it's been a lot of fun too.
Yeah, as I say, it seems dead when no one's around here on winter break.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. So now let's talk about your coach, Corinne Jones. Like, she seems to have a lot of experience playing and coaching. So tell us something about her playing for her.
Yeah, Coach Jones is great. She's one of the main reasons I came here. Like, when I visited, I knew that she wanted me a lot, and she knew what she was talking about, and my parents picked up on that too. She has had a lot of experience coaching at D1 levels too, so it definitely like transfers, like that looks good, like for me especially as coming in. And I just trust her with like everything. When we have meetings, she tells me things that I need to do better, and I listen to it, and I do it, and I perform better. Like, I just trust her.
Yeah, I think the stats like speak for themselves. Like when Coach Jones came to Brockport was a losing program, and now the past 4 years, every year that she's been here, we've made it to playoffs, which is a huge turnaround for a coach to have, especially in that short amount of time. So I think that really speaks to how well she does as a
I think she's going to set the bar higher next year, because I know like getting in the playoffs this year, like the last 5 or 6 seeds, like one of the last 2 spots getting in, she's going to make it tougher next year, try to get like the 2 or 3 seeds, hopefully get a home playoff game.
Oh yeah, we're definitely aiming for a home playoff game.
Mm-hmm. No, she's a challenging coach to play for, but she definitely pushes you. She knows how well you can do and what type of athlete you can be, and she pushes you to be that athlete.
Yeah, because you barely clinched. You had to beat Cortland home to do it, and then you
yeah,
I'm sure
playoffs started early this year.
yeah. So let's talk about those 2 games. So how did it feel like beating Cortland at home on senior day to clinch that last playoff spot, and then go to Cortland and upset them? How did that feel?
Well, we talked about it as a team, and we knew it was survive and advance at that point, even though it wasn't playoffs yet. Like we knew we had to beat Cortland, and a lot of us we stepped up, and just because we knew we had to, and we were playing for Nest too. Of course, we wanted Nest to make playoffs her senior year, so we had that in mind. And just beating them twice in a row and being the 5 seed, going to Cortland and beating them was just a great feeling. I just remember when the buzzer sounded, it was like, we're moving on. We're going to New Paltz.
Yep, I was gonna say. So now let's talk about the New Paltz loss. I know you probably hate to bring this up, but that was but they were one of the best teams ever. I gotta say, they have the best players like Rachel Simon, Lindsay Becky. And there's probably still playing going on in the NCAA tournament. So how did you feel playing against those tough players like Simon and Becky and going into New Paltz's gym to end the season?
I mean, New Paltz is they're the best team in our conference, and we knew. But we knew going in that we could compete with them, and that was our goal. Like we knew we could win, but we wanted to compete no matter what, and we did that. Unfortunately, we lost by 3, which it would have been, I don't know, it would have been unheard of not unheard of, but unheard of. It would have been awesome to move on and beat a team like New Paltz, but the fact that we competed with them that well and down the stretch to the final buzzer is something. It's so memorable, especially for my senior year. I'm really excited, and then them to have that confidence moving forward. They know they can beat anybody in the conference.
Yeah, so that's a good thing to ask you now, Julianna. So now with Emily gone next year, you think your good goal is to not only just beat New Paltz not only in the playoffs, but if you have a home game against them or if you have to go to New Paltz in the middle of the season, you'll just want to at least beat them?
Oh yeah, I think we could definitely beat them next year. They're losing Lindsay Becky and Rachel Simon. Definitely beatable. They were beatable this year too. We did compete with them and we could have beat them. It just came down to who made one more basket.
Yeah, so with Simon and Becky gone, it looks like you might have that chance next year.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. Yep, so now what are you going to look forward to from this past season going forward? We pretty much already just talked about this throughout the show, but so Julianna, what are you looking forward to next year when you're a junior going forward?
I'm looking forward to stepping up into more of a leadership position next year with Nestler going to be gone, our only captain. I think that's I've learned a lot from her this year, last year, and I know I want to step up and be like her. If I'm half the leader she is next year, then that'll be great. And I'm also looking to step up the way I like my playing and just score more, assist more, rebound more in every category. Just looking to go up every 4 years. Every year for all 4 years.
All right, we'll get ready to wrap it up here. So a couple questions I'm going to add here is, so what do you plan to do with your future after you graduate, Emily? And so what do you want to be doing?
Well, right now I am interning at the district attorney's office for Genesee County. So I've been using that experience to kind of see what avenue of criminal justice I would like to be in. But I'm also applying for the program called Sport Changes Life. And through this program, a teammate of mine from 2 years ago, Faith Welch, actually just recently came back from the program. And they send you to Ireland to get your master's, to coach a team, and to play basketball there. So I'm keeping the dream alive for 1 more year, hopefully.
So you want to go to Ireland and pursue that?
Yes, that would be awesome. That's the goal.
Yep, so now what do you plan to do? What are you majoring in here, Julianna? What do you want to do with your future?
I'm majoring in exercise science. I plan on going to grad school to become a physical therapist, but I still have some time, so.
Yeah, well, that seems like a hard major. So,
yeah.
Yep, so now how do you each juggle playing? You just talked about your schedule's nuts, having to travel a lot, all those long bus rides, all that. So how do you juggle all that with academics? Because I'm sure you got to keep on top of your schoolwork on top of all that.
Yeah, coaches definitely don't let us slip on academics. We have study hall hours that we have to meet. We they're constantly checking our grades, they're in contact with our professors, but we really take it to heart too that we know we're student athletes, and as cliche as it sounds, the student comes first. Oh, yeah. So we actually had the highest GPA that we've had this year as a team, so that was really exciting. And so, yeah, it's definitely a priority on our team to stay up with academics.
Well, it's pretty good. I'm sure you both had, it was our pleasure to cover you both this year. And Emily, we'll wish you the best of luck in your future. And Julianna, I'm sure you'll look forward to stepping it up next year when she's gone.
Yep.
Thank you so much.
So that was it. All right. Well, that's all the time we got for this edition of Eagle Talk. So we got to thank Emily and Julianna for coming on today. We enjoyed covering them, and with Julianna coming back as well as the freshman behind her, she's going to look forward to taking that goal next year as the captain and hopefully going further in the SUNYAC Conference. That's all we got for this edition of Eagle Talk. So for Emily Nestler and Julianna Taylor, I'm Ben Vahey. Thanks for watching.
Forward, number 45, Emily Nestler. Emily is a native of Henrietta and a graduate of Brockport High School.